So this is the first place that gave us a chance and hired us on as a weekly. And, they were really far out in the country. But they called and said, will you come this far out? And we didn't have anybody at the time. So I was like, yeah, we'll come that far out. We'll just have to charge a little bit extra for gas money to get out there. But that's Clark. We wear the same orange shirts and the same, hats. And we, that way, maybe people will start noticing us around town. Like, oh, those people in the orange shirts, And it does get a lot of looks when you walk into the grocery stores and different things like that. People kind of stare because we're matching and stuff like that. And there's the horses. I hope they're hungry because that's a lot of hay. So, yeah, we came out here and we've been doing this one every week for like the month that we've been doing the lawn care. And that's all their land, okay? This was all just really tall grass. And then a week ago they started, they hired someone to come in here and bale all this grass into hay. They'll either load it up on a truck and go sell the hay off to like a feed store, or they will, they'll obviously save some of it for their horses. They're not going to just dangle it in front of the horse's face and say, no, you can't have any. So, yeah, it's really pretty out here. But, yeah, most of the country homes, they have, a bunch of fields, and they just want a main part of their yard cut, which is mainly just around their front of their house and maybe like the side. So all we do is this right here. And then, we take all the sticks to the burn pile. That's the tarp he's been using to clear all that brush at the driveway. So we just do all around there. And we do this, which is their front yard. And it goes all the way, it kind of goes a little bit farther down past that propane tank. But here's how we had to do it. We couldn't really do this much acreage. Oh, because look, there's this over here too. And it goes all the way down until their fence line starts up. And then they, had all that really tall grass so they could bale hay with it. So this is what he's going to be doing. See how long the driveway is? All the way down the driveway there was really tall grass and bushes and shrubs. So if you can get a country account with a lot of acreage, it's good because they'll want you to come out and basically clear out this drive, because most of them have really long driveways, and usually they start getting overgrown with bushes and shrubs, tall grass. Well, they don't want that scratching up their car every time they come in their driveway. So all they did was basically we went and got some weed killer. And there's like some industrial strength stuff that the farm supply guy gave us. And basically we just had to spray this all. There was a lot of bushes all the way down. Spray it, wait 6 hours. It's supposed to all die. And they were come out here and it's supposed to all be dead, and then you just kind of gather up all the brush, take it on a tarp and pull it over here to this burn pile. It's been 6 hours because I dropped him off about 6 hours ago. So now we're putting another application on it. We're supposed, basically, you wait 6 hours, you take all the top, probably the top 2 feet of it. When you get all that cleared out, then you spray the weed killer again, and then it'll kill all the roots. Then just come out with a shovel and kind of basically dig up all the roots to all the bushes. Then we're going to go ahead and weed eat along the fence line and then mow it all down. And then that'll be a part of our mowing gig every week. We'll have to start doing the driveway, so we'll get extra money on that, because now we're going to have to start taking care of the driveway since it's not all overgrown anymore. But yeah, just to clear out all this brush all the way down that driveway. I don't know if you can see the end of the driveway, but just to clear out all the tall grass and the few shrubs and bushes that are there, it's $200. I didn't get the job because I can land the account But then, who would you choose compared to, my skinny flabby arms you seen on my last video, or the big brawny guy that grew up on a farm and knows everything, or the girl that come from Wichita, Kansas and lived in the city for a long time. No, okay, so of course they get him, but I let him the account, so he gives me a cut. And I feel like it's like dating in a way, Eventually you're going to find your perfect match. So there's been a few houses, and they're smaller yards, and single mothers or older women. They got little tiny yards, and I can push mow for hours. So I can weed eat for hours. After this month, boy, it's just like, it really does give you a workout. I've lost like 20 pounds. I was getting a bit of a gut there for a while, but yeah, that kind of fell off in the first month of just push mowing. And like I said, the only things we could get within that first month was like big, tall grass in big, huge yards. People that were really desperate because basically anything over, I think, 10 inches, the city eventually gets called. So they will come out, cut your grass, and then charge you a minimum of $50. So what I did was I went around and I seen anything that was about to hit 10 inches. Because the owner, I didn't bring it up to him like, hey, the city's going to come out and charge you 50 anyway. But the owner knows that because it's kind of like a city code. So they already kind of know. And they get kind of desperate. And so I'm desperate, because I'm just starting it. And I wasn't real experienced. But that gives you a good experience to take a push mower out and take a weed eater out in almost a foot tall of grass at these different yards. And you learn really quick within, like I said, I've only been doing this a month, but I learned really fast on those tall yards. And so now when I see like a yard that's only like 7 inches, I'm like, awesome. But yeah, so the first couple yards we got, people were, pretty desperate to get somebody to help them out. Maybe their lawn equipment had broke down on them and stuff like that. So I just would go around, I would find houses like that, and then I'd put our flyer out and I'd kind of bid it on the flyer. I'd put like, we'll knock all this down for $40. Well, it's $10 cheaper than the city. And it'd be more embarrassing for the city to come out, It's better just to call a lawn service before that happens. So, they kind of are like, cool, we're saving $10 and it looks like we're paying for a lawn service. And then after, that, right before I would go to these houses and knock down all that high grass, that's a yard that gets noticed. The neighbors, after a while, they're thinking, man, when is this person going to mow, So it's a yard that gets noticed that when someone comes out and starts to mow it, people are staring. So I was like, okay, before I go mow it, I'll just put flyers all around this house, and I just kind of covered like a radius around it. And then I would notice people are over there getting my flyer and seeing us mow this big old wheat field down, or I call them wheat fields, but just high grass. And so they'd be watching out their windows and things like that. So then I had a few one-time mows from that weren't real high. And then when I got those, like, the grass that wasn't too high. Plus, I plastered, flyers on different neighborhoods, but I need to do that again. Because I wasn't really, I didn't really have a very good flyer at the time. But I'm getting a little bit more experienced on the flyers end of it, and the marketing end of it too, because I've been just reading so much and looking at so many different flyers of different lawn places. So that kind of went from being kind of a dumpy looking flyer to now I'm kind of making better ones. So it kind of just all of a sudden starts to kind of self-propel. Whenever you get one yard, it's like a domino effect. There's all these other people that see it and you start getting all theirs. So then that's how we landed the bed and breakfast. They were opening a bed and breakfast. They wanted somebody to come in every week. So now we got this yard here. We got a bed and breakfast every week. And we have 2 bi-weeklies. And then we have a lot of different in the works people saying like, well, I'm going to need you in 3 weeks. Can you start doing it weekly for the end, till the end of the season? So it's kind of, when you're out there all by yourself and you're putting up flyers and you're going to house to house to house, got a lot of time to think as you're walking up the driveway. And you're like, oh, I don't want to, I want this house, but I don't want to. Like at first I was like, I don't want to bother them. What if they're eating dinner? So I'd kind of keep my head down and let the hat shade my face so nobody would see me coming. I wouldn't be just staring in at them as they're eating dinner. They couldn't see my face and I couldn't see them. So I would just hurry up, put the flyer on, walk away, and never look back. And, it's good to know that there are a lot of people out there having to go out and pass out flyers because, you're not alone, and it's really the best way for me to get business. But yeah, I'm going to have to start trying some of this other stuff everyone suggests. So I'm really grateful for everyone and all the positive things, because if this wasn't fun, I wouldn't want to do it. And I'm only going to do it until it's not fun anymore. If I start taking it too seriously, I'm going to not do it anymore, because that's just anything in life. If I start getting all too crazy, then I'm not going to do it. But as long as it's fun, I'm going to do it. And it's fun. I love the end result. I think it's beautiful. God's country. Okay. See y'all later.